Welcome back, folks, to the Series Epoch Middleweight Championship. This is Heat C. Last heat, we saw Purple Assassin go through to the grand final. And this heat, we have 6 robots looking to go through as well. So, let's get into those robots, starting with our robots in Melee 1. So, our first competitor in Group 1 is the number 1 seed, Red-Eyed Turtle. Red-Eyed Turtle pulled off the upset in the final versus Hucky Puck to win the Middleweight Championship, and they have returned. Now, they can no longer get stuck, but they do not have as strong of flippers they used to, as you can see. They got a bungee because their flipper opened way too far, which made their flips way too powerful, and that also meant they got stuck. They've been asked to remedy that alongside Intergalactic, and they have, thankfully. And so, yeah, hopefully they'll do as good as usual. Our next competitor is Agamegamon, a non-invertible, very old middleweight. Not old as in when I built it, but like in terms of from where it comes from, like the era of robot combat from where it comes from. I'm not too hopeful that it'll do too great, but it could surprise some people. It does have a wedge, so possibly. And our final competitor for Melee 1 is the Red Sawbot. So the Red Sawbot is a joke entry. I'm not even kidding. This thing looks competitive. But you may notice that it only has one functioning wheel. Yep. This is considered control movement as well, by the way, as they are joke entries. So, on to our first matchup. On to our first match, rather. Or melee, I guess. So, we're just gonna get the timer going. Oh, freak. I messed this up. And we are off. Red-Eyed Turtle gonna immediately go after the Red Sawbot. Red Sawbot over and out. Well, not out, but they're flipped over. Agamegamon over and out, though, as the Red-Eyed Turtle dangerously over that floor flipper. Surprisingly not flipped. Now they're back on it. Their driving skill needs to get back on top. Now, that was not smart positioning on their part. Immediately being attacked again. Now the Red Sawbot in control of them. Doing a nice job. And the Red Sawbots lost their wedge. That's not great for them. And now they're spinning around as Red-Eyed Turtle is struggling to get off of that wedge. It just came off. And the back part of the Red Sawbot's weapon has also come off. And now they're going to go on the floor flipper and hit the pit button. They don't get flipped very poorly, though. Agamegamon goes down the pit, though. And now Red Sawbot turns its attention back onto Red-Eyed Turtle. Red-Eyed Turtle, though, in a bit of trouble right now, as they are in a position where they really can't move. And as Red Sawbot kind of in control of them, they might be able to get down to the defending champs of the pit. They will! The Red Sawbot's going to win Melee 1. And with that, they're on to the semis. The other ones will have to go through redemptions. Our next robot this will be the first robot for Melee 2, is Mach 5. Yes, folks, the car from the Bot Builders Middleweight Championship has decided to compete here, and they have a very nice cardboard version of themselves. They compete here, as usual, very quick, and they have a self-rider, just like the new one will have, according to the Bot Builder on Discord. And I think they could do fairly well. They are not very low to the ground, though, and they have a big rivalry with Bad Attitude, so they're hoping to make it out of the heats, just so that they can take on Bad Attitude. Our next robot, folks, is Spetty Boy. Spetty Boy is a non-invertible gray wedge. It's unclear which side is the front and which side is the back, but it doesn't really matter. They're hoping to do pretty well, but I don't know, folks. Our final competitor is 3 of Squared, who look to redeem themselves after a very poor performance in the Middleweight Championships last season, back in 2020, and a very poor performance in the Heavyweight Championships with their other robot, 3 of Squared, but with both of them, which is not the full name. It's just 3 of Squared. But yeah, so we'll see. I think they could do pretty well, though, so we'll see. Pretty weak heat as well, so they might actually have a good chance. Mach 5, 3 of Squared, Spetty Boy, all in the arena at the same time. All 3 wedges going at each other immediately. Spetty Boy doing a nice job getting under the 2 who were struggling against each other. Mach 5 now, though, in control of both robots. Spetty Boy going on the floor flipper for some reason. That wasn't smart, but now Mach 5 is in trouble here as they get flipped. Spetty Boy nearly caught with them. Yes, a bit of a struggle after just the arena. I set up the arena incorrectly, so that was why I was struggling to use the floor flipper as well. Mach 5 right now attacking Spetty Boy, almost flipping them over. Spetty Boy on the floor flipper, somehow surviving. 3 of Squared was also on it. Not sure why they keep going back on it. Hard to see here. Mach 5 attacking 3 of Squared. Spetty Boy doing a nice job getting all 3 of them on the floor flipper. All 3 go over. Spetty Boy won't be able to self-right from there. Mac 5 also over, but they're not out. 3 of squared in a position to take control here. They just need to dump Mac 5 down, though. Pit. Mac 5 is going to get flipped by the floor flipper, and 3 of squared is going to send them down the pit of oblivion. I guess really not pit. It's not that pit, but it is the pit. And 3 of squared is going to win this melee. On to the redemptions. And in melee and redemption 1, we have Mac 5 versus Red-Eyed Turtle. Mac 5 already in trouble as Red-Eyed Turtle, the defending champs, looking not to go out in the first round. Mac 5 already in trouble. A bit of a poor performance, not as fast as we'd like to see them from the Robot Wars Omegas. But they are still very fast, coming in with a pummeling attack. But melee, some bad driving right there as they got on top of the floor flipper. Not really flipped over, just kind of shoved around a bit. Red-Eyed Turtle doing a nice job, trying to get a flip in there. Didn't get much of a flip, though. Both robots attacking once again. Red-Eyed Turtle, though, having trouble getting under Mac 5, surprisingly. Even though I've considered Mac 5 to be not very low to the ground. But I don't know what's to get Red-Eyed Turtle back under them. I'm not sure how Mac 5 even managed to get under them at all. Mac 5 just getting pummeled in that corner. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before Mac 5 goes down. But Mac 5 gonna ram Red-Eyed Turtle into the pit, but when the pit goes down, Mac 5 is not self-right. Red-Eyed Turtle's gonna have to self-right. But Mac 5 is gonna turn them in before Red-Eyed Turtle can get under Mac 5. The defending champs have gone out. And Mac 5 is advancing on. Here we go, Agamegamon versus Spetty Boy. Both robots looking to win this matchup. Agamegamon immediately, oh, and they're stuck. I'm gonna have to call for a restart here, folks. They're going to see if Agamegamon can get off. No, they cannot. Oh, you're going to call for restart here. So both robots are going to reset in upright positions. 3, 2, 1, and we are off. Both robots kind of leading a bit early. But Agamegamon immediately going in after Spetty Boy. Spetty Boy doing a nice job to retaliate. Both robots going at it here. Agamegamon under Spetty Boy. Spetty Boy under Agamegamon here. Agamegamon continuously using that back wedge. I think they've had trouble getting under opponents thanks to that ginormous saw. But now using that back wedge, they're having great. They're doing well, and they're driving using their back wedge is great. Agamegamon through to the next round as they flip over Spetty Boy. And Spetty Boy out after that round, but Agamegamon surely not, as they will face 3 of squared here. Immediately under 3 of squared. Gonna have to hold that pin for a good while. They do not want to give 3 of squared a chance to flip them over, but they will flip them over. Agamegamon out, and they're on to the 3rd place playoff of the hate. 3 of squared into the grand final. And Mac 5 versus the Red Sawbot. Mac 5 pulling off a huge upset, and the Red Sawbot somehow winning their melee. Kind of surprising. Immediately both robots going at it here. The Red Sawbot getting their saw up to speed, and not doing a ton, but they are attacking Mac 5, so that's not horrible. They've actually got Mac 5 stick on the wall. The Red Sawbots are through to the next round. They explode. Oh, freak. The Red Sawbots on to the next round. And Mac 5 are into the 3rd place playoff. 3rd place playoff time. We'll go to the grand final after this one. Mac 5 versus Agamegamon. Agamegamon looking to pull up a huge shocker. Not sure why Mac 5 is driving in with their rear side. Absolutely pummeling Agamegamon. Taking out Agamegamon themselves. And now 3 of squared looks to make it through to the grand final, but Red Sawbot stand in their way. Mac 5 through to the rumble. Anyway, Agamegamon have been eliminated immediately. 3 of squared having no problem of getting under the Red Sawbot. The Red Sawbot just keeps rearing up, and their wedge is gone as well. That's a problem. The Red Sawbot, a bit of a joke entry as I said earlier, and they've lost the wheel. But they have proven themselves to be somewhat competent as well. Immediately kind of hit by the floor flipper right there. 3 of squared attacking them very well. And Red Sawbot almost in. They go down. And 3 of squared is into the grand final. They will join the other 2. And we'll have Heat D after this one. Incredible from 3 of squared. Well, to be honest, 2 back-to-back heats with not very competent competition. 3 of squared. Congratulations to them. They have made it through to the next round. The Red Sawbot will have a chance in the Rumble alongside the other losers. And so, in the 3rd place playoff winner, Mac 5 will also join them. As for Spetty Boy, Agamegamon, and your defending champs, Red-Eyed Turtle, their time in the Middleweight Championship is over. And a bit of a shocker for Red-Eyed Turtle. They will not be seated next time, most likely, unless they can win a few things off air. But, yeah. Heat D, though, folks. You should do not want to miss that. 5 of the 6 competitors have either been a runner-up or have actually won the championship themselves, mainly off air, and some with weird stories to tell behind it. So, have a great day, folks.